Hey guys, it's us.
I'm Aaron.
And I'm Richelle.
And welcome to Mildly Informed.
So, we are talking about gender privilege today.
I got it.
Yeah. Let's let Aaron lead on this one since he's the leader in this pair.
So, Wikipedia defines male privilege as a concept within sociology for examining social, economic, and political advantages or rights that are available to men solely on the basis of their sex. A man's access to these benefits may vary depending on how closely they match their society's ideal masculine norm.
That was very weirdly worded to me.
I know.
Like, wait, who wrote that?
I kind of want to try again.
For a second there, I was like, is Aaron just like stumbling, or is this like really fumbly in the way it was worded weird? But anyways, you get the point.
Yeah. Because I'm a man, I get social, economic, and political advantages.
I just snorted.
That was cute.
We're going to leave it there and not edit it out. Despite the fact that, I just snorted while laughing. That was adorable.
Okay.
So, yeah, gender privilege. I think we can all kind of acknowledge that it is present in our society.
It is a real thing.
It is a real thing. I think more so male-leaning than female-leaning.
And I'm not going to deny it.
So, yeah, some of the ones that I came up with, some examples of male privilege. And one of the ones actually I find to be somewhat overlooked is just the fact that men are biologically, physically stronger than women. And I think in a lot of different ways, that actually...
I mean, we didn't ask for it.
You didn't ask for it, but we're talking about what we have advantages. For men, they're physically more adept.
You know what? That's true.
It is true. And I think that leads to, in some ways, some rape culture issues.
It does.
Because women fear for their safety because they're not typically as strong as men. And so they have to always keep that in mind, that if they're attacked, the likelihood that they're going to be able to defend themselves is questionable. And so that definitely leaves us feeling in a vulnerable situation quite often. And it is an advantage that men have on their side.
No, and that's a true statement. And I don't want to say this because I might get my ass whooped for saying it, but if women were physically stronger than men naturally, men would get their ass beats for most
all
of
the time. All the time. Oh my gosh. Because of the level of, we're just gonna call it simpletonness.
Hell no, I'm blaming it on mood swings.
Y'all are something else. Y'all be on some other stuff, and I'm mostly talking about straight men because I don't know the nature of a homosexual relationship.
You aren't wrong.
Straight men, y'all got some issues. And if we were stronger, we would be laying down the law. I'm just saying. So, yeah, that was just one of the ones that I find is often overlooked. I don't think that a lot of men really consider the fact that is an advantage.
That is a definite advantage. If men are using it gentlemanly, it's an advantage for their female partner.
It's true, and I think that was the way nature intended it to be used, to protect, as opposed to use it in an abusive way.
But we have non-gentlemanly people, and Richelle is has restricted a lot of my language, so I'm gonna say non-gentlemanly instead of a-hole.
You can say a-hole as long as you're not using the word. You get what a-hole means.
A-hole, I'm not a child.
Anyways.
So, I get it. There's bad apples, and as Richelle said, men are stronger, and it like, and non-gentlemanly men can make it seem like, oh shit, like for women and smaller stature men, it's like, oh shit, this guy is like, you know, like what do I do in this situation?
You mean for as a man?
Like,
you're saying like,
yeah, no,
because
like
when you're in the presence of a non-gentlemanly guy.
Yeah, like when somebody like, because like we deal with like kind of like a misogyny type of thing in the gay community as well. You know, I'm not trying to like say it's like like in the same realm as yours, but it's just like, let's just say if I met like some big burly linebacker and he just goes ape shit. Oops.
You said the S word how many times already without even paying attention to it? So Aaron's now allowed to use A and S because he's already said those, so we're just gonna keep rolling with that.
So like if that happens, it's just like, oh no, what do I do in this situation? You know? So
what do you do? Like what? You mean like
if
they're like coming at you in that way? Like
if I do actually feel like, if I feel like something
threatening position.
If I'm like in a vulnerable position.
I mean, I guess that would be the natural reaction for anybody who feels threatened in any shape or form. But I think when you're talking gender-wise, yeah. And especially when we're talking about societal norms, I think women tend to feel more threatened.
Yeah, no, that's a true
thing. Yeah. Even if it were you, because I'm sure you have a story, and we'll talk about the story later.
I love this story. I can't wait to talk about this story now. I'm so excited to talk about this story. Okay. Oh my god. Okay.
So that was one. I mean, these are just ones that I just found online. You know, you can just find them online, or because you have experience with them. But more likely, men are more likely to be chosen for leadership positions. They're less likely to face sexual harassment at work, though it can and does happen.
It does happen.
But just not on such a large scale, I would say.
True. It does happen. One of like my really good friends had it happen to him.
Yeah.
And
we know this story.
And
we know this story.
The poor lady that did it to him, the poor drunk
was she?
Yeah, she was very drunk. Yeah. The poor drunk lady that decided to like grope our friend inappropriately from behind while he was minding his business cleaning windows, almost got punched in the chin. So like,
in his defense, he didn't know who it was that had groped him inappropriately. He wasn't facing her. He was turned with his back away from her, and so he didn't know when he turned around about to swing that it was a woman that had inappropriately grabbed him, which, I mean, it's the risk you play when you grab somebody you don't know. I'm just saying.
Whoopi said it best. If you don't want hands on you, don't put hands on anybody else. Probably messed that one up, but like,
I mean, you got the gist.
Yeah. One, if them cheeks ain't yours, don't touch them.
Yeah, I think that's a safe way to approach life in general. You know, treat others the way that you would like to be treated.
Basically. Like, because I can see it now.
Summing up gender privilege in a nutshell.
In Mad Men, what was John Hamm's name?
Don Draper.
Okay, and like, didn't he sexually harass his like secretaries or like those women all the time?
He, I don't think, was necessarily guilty of that so much as his counterparts were.
Okay, so
not in the workplace, at least. Now, as far as his marriage and what he did outside his marriage, that's a whole nother story.
Okay, so like back in that time, if those secretaries were like, good presentation.
For those of you guys who don't know, Mad Men, who don't watch Mad Men, or it's not on TV anymore. Well, yeah, it was on TV. But anyways, it's filmed or set in the 60s, even though it's a current show. What is wrong with my mouth?
I had issues today.
It was set in the 60s during a time when misogyny was at its height. Okay? It was getting ready to be cut down because the 70s are right around the corner.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the sexual revolution.
You know what would
All
have been
that
great
business.
though? Like instead of like open palm slapping like a man, like as a female secretary, if she like instead of open palm slapping her boss in the ass, she just like shook his dick like a hand. Like, good job in that meeting today.
No.
I mean, like what?
No, because it's inappropriate. Okay.
Slapping ass is inappropriate
But
too.
remember what we just said though? We just said we're gonna treat other people the way we wish to be treated. So if I don't want people walking around grabbing my vagina, good job today. You look amazing. Like our corporate chief, then I'm not gonna suggest that other women go around grabbing other genitalia parts and complimenting other people,
Okay.
regardless of their gender.
You're right. You're right.
So yeah, I mean, so we try to keep it balanced. So yes, we've talked about a lot of male privileges, but for women, and I think we don't always talk about this in this discussion, what are our privileges?
Hey guys, we realize we talk a lot.
Sorry. So we're going to snip it here, and we're going to make this a part 1, part 2, and we'll continue this next week with the rest of gender privilege.
Yay, we did a video in 2 weeks, I guess. I don't know how to be excited for this.
We're trying out a 2 for, I don't know what I'm trying to say right now.
I don't know. Come back next week, y'all.
Yeah, come back next week and we'll wrap this conversation up because we like to talk a lot.
All right.
Yeah.
Bye, y'all.